In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, amidst the cacophony of modern existence, there lies a profound quest that many of us share, the search for the voice of God. It's a journey that transcends cultures, religions, and personal backgrounds, a universal yearning to connect with something greater than ourselves. Yet, in an era dominated by constant noise and relentless distractions, how can we possibly hear the gentle whisper of the divine? Imagine walking through a bustling city, the symphony of car horns, chatter, and the hum of machinery forming an almost impenetrable wall of sound. In such an environment, it feels nearly impossible to discern anything beyond the immediate clamor. This scenario mirrors our inner lives, filled with the demands of work, social obligations, and the endless stream of digital information that clamors for our attention. The noise is not just external, it permeates our minds, creating a barrier to the stillness required to hear the subtle voice of God. But just as a skilled musician can find a melody in the midst of chaos, we too can learn to attune our hearts to the divine amidst the noise. It requires intentionality, a deliberate effort to seek moments of quietude and reflection. One might find this in the early morning hours before the world awakens, in the silent corridors of a library, or even in a moment of solitude amidst nature's beauty. These pockets of silence are sacred spaces where the noise of the world fades, allowing the gentle whisper of God to be heard. Consider the story of Elijah, a prophet in the Hebrew Bible, who sought God not in the mighty wind, nor the earthquake, nor the fire, but in the still, small voice that followed. This tale serves as a timeless reminder that the divine often speaks to us in the quiet moments, away from the spectacle and clamor. It is in these whispers that we find guidance, comfort, and a sense of profound connection. In our own lives, we can cultivate practices that help us listen more intently to this inner voice. Meditation, prayer, and mindfulness are powerful tools that can quiet the mind and open the heart. By setting aside regular time to disconnect from the external world, we create a sanctuary within ourselves where the voice of God can be heard. This practice is not about escaping reality, but rather about finding a deeper reality within ourselves, one that is aligned with the divine. There are countless testimonies from individuals who have experienced transformative moments of divine communication. These stories often share a common theme. The voice of God is not always loud or overt, but subtle and gentle, often requiring a quiet heart and a receptive spirit to be truly heard. A businessman overwhelmed by the pressures of his career finds solace in a daily practice of meditation, where he begins to feel a sense of peace and direction that he attributes to divine guidance. A mother, in the midst of her busy household, discovers moments of profound clarity during her morning prayers, feeling as though she is receiving wisdom beyond her own understanding. In our quest to hear the voice of God, we must also recognize the importance of trust and patience. The noise of the world can be overwhelming, and there will be times when it seems impossible to find that still, small voice. But just as the stars remain in the sky even when hidden by clouds, the voice of God is ever present, waiting to be discovered by those who earnestly seek it. This journey requires faith, a belief that even when we cannot hear, the divine is speaking, guiding us through the whispers of our hearts, creating a life that is attuned to the voice of God. Involves more than just moments of silence. It encompasses our actions, our intentions, and our openness to the sacred in everyday life. It is about listening with our whole being, allowing our senses to be attuned to the divine presence that surrounds us. This can be seen in the simple act of pausing to appreciate the beauty of a sunrise, feeling gratitude for the small blessings in our lives, and being present in our interactions with others. The modern world, with all its advancements and conveniences, often distracts us from these simple yet profound experiences. We are constantly bombarded with information, our attention fragmented by the myriad of devices and platforms that demand our focus. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of distraction that we can choose to seek the sacred. By intentionally creating space for stillness, we invite the divine into our lives, allowing ourselves to be guided by a wisdom that transcends our understanding. Historically, many spiritual traditions have emphasized the importance of solitude and contemplation in connecting with the divine. The Desert Fathers and Mothers of early Christianity retreated into the wilderness to seek God away from the distractions of society. Similarly, mystics from various traditions have sought isolation to deepen their spiritual practice and attune themselves to the divine presence. These practices, though ancient, hold relevance for us today, reminding us that the journey to hear the voice of God is one of intentionality and dedication. In our contemporary context, finding this solitude might not require retreating to the desert, but rather creating a personal sanctuary within our daily lives. This could be a corner of our home dedicated to quiet reflection, a park where we walk and meditate, or even a time of day set aside for prayer and contemplation. By carving out these spaces, we honor our need for connection with the divine and open ourselves to the whispers of God. The process of listening to the voice of God also involves a deep sense of humility and surrender. It is about acknowledging that we do not have all the answers, and that true wisdom comes from a source beyond ourselves. This humility allows us to be open to divine guidance, to recognize the signs and messages that are often subtle and easy to overlook. It is in this state of surrender that we can truly hear the voice of God, not just as a distant echo, but as a living presence in our lives. In conclusion, the journey to hear the voice of God in the noise of the world is a deeply personal and profoundly transformative endeavor. It requires us to step back from the relentless pace of life, to embrace moments of silence, and to open our hearts to the whispers of the divine. In doing so, we not only find a deeper connection with God, but also with ourselves, gaining clarity, purpose, and a sense of peace that transcends the chaos of the world around us. This journey is one of faith, trust, and intentionality, inviting us to listen with our whole being and to discover the sacred in the midst of the everyday. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If you found this video insightful, please subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Stay vigilant, stay faithful, and may you always walk in the light.